Welcome to the next lecture of Osha Training Online. Today our topic is workplace violence. Our today's lecture line are the following. First, we will discuss what workplace violence, who commits the workplace violence, then the types of workplace violence and forms of workplace violence. And lastly, we will discuss the prevention or improvement plan about the workplace violence. So first, what is workplace violence? So it is the threat which exists in the working environment amongst individuals or workers. It has basically the effects on the working environment, and those effects may be linked to finance, psychological and physical. Financially, a company may be affected due to workplace violence. Psychologically, workers may be affected, and physically, damage may also happen. Employer has to minimize or remove the workplace violence. The ultimate duty of avoiding and removing the workplace violence is of the employer. The employer is the ultimate person who has to counteract the workplace violence. Now the question arises that who commit it. So specifically talking about the workplace environment, then the strangers may commit the workplace violence, customers may also opt for it, and the co-workers may also commit the workplace violence. Now there are different types of workplace violence. In type 1, we called it strangers violence. So what is strangers violence or type 1 violence? It is that the aggressor has no relation with the business in place. It is due to any criminal action. The person or the stranger who commit the violence has no relation with the business. He is not a worker, he is not a customer, but he opt for some aggressive activity or criminal activity. For example, a theft, underwriting, a crime or a violence. So in that case we called it type 1 or stranger violence. It is due to any criminal action he is undergoing. So in that case there is a violence which we called it a stranger's violence. The type 2 or the customer's violence is a kind of workplace violence in which the client or customer has get any service or items from the company. So in this case, the customer has a relation with the company because he's a client or the customer of the company, and he opt for a violence because of the reason that, for example, he has get some product and he is not happy from the product, and in turn there is some mishaps or some inconvenience which may lead to violence. Ultimately, this kind of violence may result in low level of injuries. The type 3 violence is co-workers violence. So this kind of violence is due to some worker who has relation with the company in the past, and he is looking to some revenge due to any injustice. For example, there is a worker who has relation with another company or firm in the past, and he has get some injustice. So in that case, in the current time, he has no relation with the company, but he was the co-worker or he was the worker in the past. So now he's looking for some revenge. So in that case, he may opt for any violent activity. Physical abuse is a kind of workplace violence. Physical abuse may result in injuries such as cuts, etc. A person or a worker may get injured. It is due to the usage of some heavy material. For example, there is some violence among workers, and in that case, one individual use some heavy material, damage another person. So in that case, the physical abuse may occur. Apart from physical effect, it may also have mental or psychological aspect of an affected person. Not only a person will get abused physically, he will also get abused mentally or psychologically, and ultimately it's very dangerous for the affected person. Now lastly, we'll discuss what is the prevention or improvement plan. So the first one is engineering controls. What is engineering controls? How to avoid workplace violence with engineering controls and improve the workplace. So redesign, rearrange, modify or alter or change the equipments used, products or actions that increase the risk of injuries. So we have to rethink and redesign, change our equipments, products which are used in the workplace, and we can also think about changing our actions of attempting certain activities, and we have to do it in different ways. So this is the engineering controls which can result in avoiding workplace violence and improve the workplace. The second one is administrative control, and this is really important. Job rotation, allowing short breaks, regular housekeeping, and maintenance. We have to do job rotation, which means that the rotation of the worker's job have to be changed. For example, we have to switch one worker instead of another on the night shift so that the worker can work effectively. Allowing short breaks, we have to not opt for continuous hours work as the workers may get fatigue and it may result in violence among the workers. Regular housekeeping should also have to be done. The work area should be clean, as an out of order area or workplace may result also in violence, and maintenance of different kind of devices and materials have to be opted in order to avoid workplace violence. And lastly, the personal protective equipment should be used. Gloves, footwear, knee and elbow pads, eye protections, face shield, etc. All of the personal protective equipment should be used because ultimately it will improve the workplace and would avoid the workplace violence. So guys, this was about workplace violence. If you have any question, then ask me in the comment section. I will reply your comments. Thank, take care and bye.